Hey everybody, JR from JR's Cars here, and today we're not talking about cars. Instead, we're talking about dishwashers. So stay tuned, and I'm going to show you what's going on that can hopefully help you out if you're having problems with your dishwasher cleaning your dishes. Alright, so if you live in a house that has a dishwasher, they're both a blessing and a curse sometimes. So it's great because obviously throw everything in the dishwasher, it cleans itself. You don't have to worry about it. But there are times where you're going to get decreased efficiency. You're going to start getting your dishes looking really nasty when they're coming out. They're not getting cleaned. It's just completely inefficient. And what ends up happening is a lot of the times either the water jackets inside the jets start getting clogged. You could end up getting a lot of debris and food inside the bottom trap. It'll clog up the filters. It'll clog up the inlet and the outlet ports. So what I did was I'm taking this apart because I'm noticing that my dishes are definitely not getting as clean as what they used to. I've been in this house almost a year now, and when we first moved in, it was pretty nice. You know, it was taking care of things. But as time has gone on, they've gotten worse and worse and worse. And I find myself cleaning the dishes after they've already been cleaned by the dishwasher. Defeats the purpose. So I'm going to show you what you have to do to take this apart and show you what you would typically find if you have this kind of a problem. And we'll see how it works afterwards. So for this specific model, it's a Whirlpool QuietPartner III. These are the only tools that you're going to need. Phillips head screwdriver and a T15 Torx bit. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to obviously open the front door. That's self-explanatory. And you want to take out this bottom tray. Now, obviously, it just pulls out, rides right along here, and it just lifts right off. There's nothing that you have to take off. Second thing that you want to do is you want to take this tray out now, because we're going to want to clean all of this out and make sure that everything's good to go. So what you need to do is you can slide that tray back just a little bit to make this a little bit more accessible. And these clips here have to come off. So what you need to do is you push in, and again, it's a little easier with two hands, so I could do this off camera. Where you're going to push this in, and you can see how that pushes and clears a little bit. Then you're going to pull this back a little bit, and they will slide right out. It's just, like I said, it's a little easier to do with two hands. So I'll do that off camera. We'll take these two out, and then we'll take this whole tray out, and I'll show you what we need to do to clean this top tray. Okay, now that the upper tray is out, you can kind of take a little better look at what the jets look like. So this, as the water comes in, it spins around with the water pressure. So what you're going to want to do is, obviously, you can see in here, you want to just make sure that all these jets are clear, which all these are, so that's good. Sometimes if you have certain models that have really thin jets, you might have to poke them with, I don't know, like grab a toothpick or something and just poke them through just to make sure that there's nothing in them. But then a couple things you also want to do, especially on this one here, you want to make sure that this is in correctly. All right, so this is in the keeper for that, because that's going to plug into the back where the water comes up. Then what you're going to want to do is you want to take this screw out and then remove this assembly here. Remove this jet out. You want to spray it out with some water just to get anything that might be caught inside of it out. And then you also want to spray through here into this passage. Make sure there's nothing in here blocking any of the flow of the water too. All right, next step you want to do is you want to take this here. It's a little plastic screw, and you're going to want to tighten it clockwise to the right, because it is a reverse thread. When you hold on to this, loosen this, like I said, by going counterclockwise, it's going to release this from the jet, and then the jet will come out. All right, so the next step that you're going to do is you're going to want to take this tube assembly off. Right, this is going to shower down on the top rack, the little spinner jet up here, and then there's the water jacket here. You have a screw in the back, you have a screw on the top. So you want to take those two off. Then what you're going to want to do is come down here, release this, and pull this out of the bottom, which is easier to do off camera, so I'll do that. Then this will get out of the way, and then what you're going to want to do is take this much more white assembly here, you can see here. You're going to spin that to the right, because you can see that it will release from here. And then this assembly will come out, and then we'll be at the cap and the strainer. Okay, now that that assembly's out, you can take a little better look at it here. All right, so this down at the bottom is what goes onto the cap and the strainer. As you saw, we just twisted it off. And then you can separate these pieces in here. It'll make it a lot easier to clean, because you want to make sure that you take this and spray it out with a hose, and then you're going to spray the whole assembly out with a hose here. And then here is where your upper rack is going to connect into. Now, obviously, because I have it on the higher setting, this one's just the plunger for it stays in. This one here, it's never used, so the plunger stays flush. This is also something that you're going to just pop these clips out here on both sides, and then take this assembly off, and you want to clean behind that too. All right, so then if you look at the top here, you see that you have the spinner jet for the top. All right, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pop these clips. There's a couple clips around the whole top here. I can show you. See the clips right there. And there's a clip here. Then there's clips here and here. And one more here. You're going to want to pop this off. This assembly, the bottom assembly here, the cover will come off. And then you need to spray in here to make sure that you get everything nice and clean too, because this is where the water's going to come out for the top. That's going to cascade down over the top of the top rack. Okay, so now we're down to the cap and the strainer. This whole assembly has to come out. Just watch this here, because this is going to come out on you. Make sure that you take this, you clean this out well too. And then you have 4 bolts right here. They're Torx bits. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once those are removed, this whole assembly will pull straight out. Okay, now that that's out of the way, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this shroud off here. But first you want to get your hand in here and just feel around to see if there's any large debris that you can pick out of it. Right now I'm not feeling anything big. So what you'll do is you'll take this screw out, and the cover will pull straight off. Okay, now that we took that cover off, if you look down here, you can see that this is the cutter right here. Basically what that's going to do is if you have any solids that are in here, that's going to spin. Let's see if I can kind of show you here. You can see the blade. There is a blade that's in here, and that's going to slice up against this here. Right, you see it right there. That's the blade. And what it's going to do is it's going to chop up anything that's kind of big that would that needs to be pumped out. It's going to chop it up before it sends it out. But if you look down here, what you're going to see is there was a lot more in here before I did clean this out. But you'll see that there's going to be debris down here. You're going to find things in here. You're going to find things in here. You're going to find stuff laying in here. You want to make sure that you clean that all out, because that's what you don't want in there. You want to make sure that this is all cleared out, because that's going to impede the flow. So what I did here is I pulled out my little green machine, and it actually worked really good. If you take the head off of it, you still have the spray nozzle to where you can spray some water in it and like purge it out. And then that's where you would end up sucking everything through. So I'll show you what that looks like here. It's going to be a little bit loud. And now that you have it all cleaned out, basically what you're going to do is you're going to put everything back together in the same order that it came apart. Just make sure that everything's back in, and you definitely want to run it one cycle just to clear out anything that you might have kicked up inside of it. Just run a clean cycle through it, no dishes, and then you should be good to go. So I hope that helped you out to show you what it's like to take apart your dishwasher to make it more efficient, so you don't have to clean your dishes after your dishwasher was supposed to do it for you. So if that helped you out, do me a favor, help me out. Give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it around with your friends. Share it with your enemies too. Why not? And definitely check into my channel because I have a lot of car videos. I have some reviews of vehicles if you're not familiar with my channel. So check that out. And I also have another video that's going to be coming soon. I have a generator that's outside that has been here since I moved in. I don't know if it works. Probably doesn't. It's been sitting out there for almost a year. I'm going to try to make it work because we're coming into winter soon, and you never know. It's always good to have a generator around. So, like I said, subscribe to my channel, give me a like. I hope everyone's staying safe out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.